Don't ever doubt your mechanic. He has been too accurate with his predictions this year, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. Folks, welcome to Kickin' It with Tim and the Mechanic. I'm Tim. He's the mechanic. Brendan Cuttino, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. Like I said, it's always good when we're talking kickboxing.
That's absolutely correct. And we had some big news coming out recently. 2 weeks ago, you and I were talking about what the hell's Glory going to do? They can't do shows in the Netherlands. And you said, why don't they just go down the block to Belgium? Well, guess what? They made an official announcement just yesterday or maybe this morning. They're just going down the block to Belgium. Glory 80 will be in Belgium, and we have some fun fights already announced for that one, and we'll get to breaking them down. What do you think of Glory 80, Mr. Cuttino?
I'm excited, man. I do like the card so far. You know, like I said, I mean, the main event, of course, is the rematch that a lot of people were talking about. So I'm definitely down to see how that goes. I mean, I know Badr wants his revenge. So we'll see if Wrzosek can do it 2 times in a row, or Badr's gonna get this W. And to me, man, I don't know, man. Yo, if Badr gets his W, they maybe need to run it back, get that 3rd fight in. But we'll see what happens.
Oh, man, it's an exciting one. Yeah, Badr Hari's been asking for this one a lot. He was winning the fight, I mean, fairly dominantly until he wasn't winning the fight. But I've got some news on this one. Glory 80. I will be attending this one in person. I've been approved for media credentials through MMA Succa. Not only that, next week I'll be interviewing Arkadiusz Wrzosek, who's headlining against Badr Hari. So I'm not going to say anything about him today. So put the listener questions down below for you folks. If you have anything that you want to have asked to Arkadiusz Wrzosek, put it down in the comments, and I will ask this gentleman next week. So I will be flying down to Belgium and attending this event in person. Mr. Cuttino, will you be attending Glory 80 in person?
Well, I would like to. Like I said, we already got some fights already announced, but there's somebody on that card who is potentially on that fight card, and that's Mohammed Jaraya. Hey, if anybody knows Robbie Timmers, let him know your boy is ready to step in. I don't mind. My passport is ready. I put it out on the tweets. I DM Robbie Timmers on the gram. He hasn't got back to me. So if anybody knows Robbie Timmers and he still needs somebody for Mohammed Jaraya, let him know I'll be his huckleberry, all right? March 19th, man, it's not too far away, baby. I got plenty of time to get ready. Let him know. 70 kilograms, I'm there.
Man, 3 months is plenty of time to get into shape. We got more than a full training camp in this case, right? You've changed up training a little bit as well, some new stuff going on, and you're making a call out today. Mohammed Jaraya at Glory 80 versus Brandon Cuttino. Is this what you're saying?
Saying, I would love it. It's the Destroyer versus the Mechanic. Let's make it happy, Robbie Timmers. I'm there, baby. Scott Rutman, you know me. You follow me on Twitter. Let's do it.
I'll make the call out right now. I'm doing this.
Hey, and trust me, hey, I got fans in the Netherlands, baby. Don't travel down. Let's do it.
Man,
I'll
that is
some tickets for you still.
Man, we got folks we can stay with. Man, we are making the call out here today. We are making the call out. New training camp. We are 3 months away. Lots of time left for Glory 80. Mohammed Jaraya. Where are you at, homie? Don't be scared.
That's it. Hey, he's training hard for it. So, I mean, I'm just saying, if they don't have anybody already scheduled for him, like I said, because when they shut out the card, they said that they just said Mohammed Jaraya versus TBA. Hey, I'll be TBA. You can change my name to TBA. It's okay. I'll be TBA. I said I'll be his Huckleberry. Just put my name out there. Anybody knows Robbie Timmers? You guys can send him this clip. We can have our editor make this a clip where I'm calling out Mohammed Jaraya. Just throw my name in the hat. No disrespect. Been a fan of his since he was in Infusion. I just think it would just be good times. That's all.
Oh, brother. It's exciting times upcoming. Best of luck in this journey. Let's get you on that card. Let's get you flying out to Belgium in the next couple of weeks here. Belgium should be a fairly easy country for COVID entry, for getting your visa approved. Anything else that you need, it should be pretty by the book on this one, I think. So, Mr. Cuttino, I'm going to be there. I will see you at Glory 80. Awesome stuff. Also on the card for Glory 80, aside from Mr. Cuttino himself, some major good fights on it as well. I think we have the 2 tallest guys possible. I think this card is the tallest card in history. Not only do you have Arkadiusz Wrzosek, who comes in, I think, around 6'7", you also have Jamal Ben Saddik will be facing off against Levi Rigters. That's 6'9" versus 6'7". These are some long boys. And Jamal Ben Saddik has been around for quite a while. Levi Rigters is a little bit of an up-and-comer and a very standout talent. Do you have an early prediction or some thoughts on this tall, long boy fight?
Yeah, man. I'm like, man, I mean, I know Levi Rigters, again, another person who used to be an Infusion, who was an Infusion champ there, saying he's on the come up. But I'm like, man, I feel like this is a big time fight already. I'm like, you're fighting a guy who just fought for the title. You know, you would think he maybe want to try to ease himself in. But to me, man, if he gets a W over Jamal Ben Saddik, man, he's right there in the title picture. So I mean, right now, I would probably lean towards Jamal Ben Saddik just because, you know, the experience. And like I say, he is a bigger guy, hits harder, you know, but it should be a good one though.
Should be a good one. That's why we mix them up. And I think Levi is one of those guys that you want to have, like we were talking about a few weeks ago, in terms of get this guy an audience. This guy is good looking. He speaks well. He's kind of everything that you picture when you picture like good Dutch kickboxers. That is the image of him, right? Like that is he's a handsome, good looking guy who speaks well in front of the camera. Get this guy in front of the camera, Glory. Get this guy out there. Excited for that one. We also have Artem Vakhitov will be defending his title against Luis Tavares. Vakhitov is he's a tough fighter to fight against because he's so defensively sound. His counter strikes are always on point. Even great fighters really struggle to find openings against him. If you win against him, you look kind of bad. If you lose to him, you don't look much better. He's a frustrating fighter. Artem Vakhitov versus Luis Tavares at Glory 80. Any preliminary ideas on what's going to happen in this one?
Yeah, to be honest with you, this is probably the fight that I'm probably looking forward to the most on this card. Just because, again, like I've mentioned before to you, I was there for Glory 9 when they first fought, you know, in New York City. So I'm kind of looking to see how Luis Tavares, you know, over the years how he has progressed. Like I said, I think he'll still have that slickness that he does, that he kind of brings to us. I think his plan is probably to make Vakhitov miss and then make him pay. You know, he's going to try to use his boxing, which Vakhitov does as well. He's kind of more of a boxer as well. So I think might be two guys who really throwing their hands, and they might just maybe mixing some kicks here and there. But you know, we'll save the official predictions until when we get closer.
Yeah, exactly. We got 3 months. It's a real exciting time leading up to this card, and more fights will be announced as we're getting closer to it. But so far, this is shaping up to a really good card. I think Glory, after having almost 2 years of pretty good productions, they're really coming back in and really trying to put a big one. There should be a title fight on this card and 2 heavyweight fights. What's a good one? It's headlined by Badr Hari. Come on. This is going to be a good one. Also coming up in just a couple of days, we had news. These one championship cards, man, they are made of paper mache. They're just taped together at this point, and I feel bad for them because they put together one championship, puts together some incredible cards. And then as time goes forward, we get down to just some pretty good cards due to injuries and sicknesses and stuff like that. Marat Grigorian is out of his fight, and he's out of the Featherweight Grand Prix in one championship. Unfortunately, it was either him or someone in his camp. It was COVID sickness, and sad to hear that. So now Chingiz Allazov will be facing off against Jo Nattawut, and I'll do a quick rundown on these boys. So Chingiz was a K1 World Grand Prix champion, and quite a notable one at that. He was a Grand Prix champion. He won it by knockouts. He has extremely good power punching versus Smokin Jo Nattawut, who is a Muay Thai-based striker. He's coming in with 71 wins. He's a WMC and Lion Fights champion. He fought Giorgio Petrosian 2 fights ago, and now he's on a 1-fight win streak. Another really good, talented fighter. And having him fill in really does show how good this division is in one championship, because it's still a good fight. I'm sad Marat is out, but we got a good fight filling in there. What are your thoughts on the new fight that we have and Marat getting sick and all that?
Yeah, man, you know, it's a bummer that Marat had to get had to pull out, for the fight. Hopefully, he gets better soon. This is one of the reasons why, people kind of are a fan of the one-night tournaments, for kickboxing. This way we don't have to worry about these things, which is what people want, because people want those K1, those K1 days. So that's why anytime you get a tournament, people are like, oh, let's do one night, but hey, sometimes, like I say, times are different now. You kind of want to spread it out if you can, but maybe next time one does a tournament, maybe they try to do the one night, But I kind of want to say this might be like good. The good thing is that Smokin Jo was already training for this exact date because he was already going to be on this card. He's just changing opponents. But I just think it changes my picks a little bit because, like I said, you already know who I have winning the whole thing.
Yes.
But like I said, I did have Marat winning this fight, which he's gonna have his opponent. But now since Marat is out, now I think his opponent's gonna win. Sorry, Smokin Jo, you are a good opponent, but I think you're gonna take this L, my guy. And yeah, I mean, thank you for coming, but you just made it. You like say it's not like he's an easy fight, but he's an easier fight than Marat was going to be.
When I was talking to the one championship representatives, they were kind of saying like Marat is the guy. We think if he's not in the final, he's taking the whole. Like if he's not winning the whole thing, he's still in the final. He's one of our favorites going into the tournament. So I think everyone's a little bit sad to see him go because it would have been a great storyline having him then fight Superbon the champion, almost trying to avenge his good friend, fellow Armenian in Giorgio Petrosian. It would have been a great storyline there. So I think one is a little bit sad. But I also want to ask you on the psychology and physicality of, we see so many Grand Prix in kickboxing. Tournaments and Grand Prix are core to kickboxing more than they are to MMA. The MMA really quickly switched out of tournaments and just went to championships and divisional titles and stuff like that. And part of that was because they wanted Ken Shamrock and Royce Gracie to fight at UFC 3, and then they didn't. So they're like, this is stupid. We'll just set up the fight ourselves because they're not going to fight in the tournament. What is the attitude of doing a one-night tournament as a fighter? You know, as a viewer, I absolutely love it. But as a fighter, 3 fights in one night or more sometimes? What the hell? That's exhausting. How is that humanly possible? And how do you prepare for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody has their different ways to, to prepare for it. But to me, like, I think it to be one of those things. Like, yeah, as a fan, it is exciting, but I think as a fighter, it also is kind of exciting as well because you're fighting more than like one person. And I think there's something about like saying like to me, like I tell people why do I fight? I fight to test myself, to see my skills, see where I'm at. And I think there's just another way of people testing themselves. Testing their endurance, their endurance, their conditioning, their heart, like I said, like I know usually most people are good with the 8-man fight tournaments, which is what most people want because again, those were the K1 days. But that's why to me, I say yay to glory when they were doing their 4-man tournaments. Hey, it's still hey, it's not the big 8-man that you want, but hey, 4 is still good. Hey, that's still 2 fights you got to do in one night. That's nothing to sneeze at. So to me, anytime you get any type of tournament, I'm with it. But I mean, like we're kind of gonna go off a little bit, but even like Invicta, the women fighting championship with the women, when they do their little one-night tournaments, the only thing about them is that it's one round. While usually still with the kickboxing, they're still giving you a whole fight. Yeah,
I think for a person's health, 4-person tournament does make sense. I completely co-sign with that, especially if you're going to have people fighting 2 in one night. 4 people does make a lot of sense. But yeah, it's a hard thing to do, and it's a lot of fun. Tournaments end up, you get weird storylines, weird thing happens in tournaments. Do you remember when I think it was 2008, 2009, or 2010 with Jerome Lebanier, and he won the fight with a broken arm? Yeah. But he got paid more for going to the next fight. So he went to the next fight with a broken arm and then just like, oh, I'm done. This is exhausting. My arm's broken.
I mean, I was going to go with just somebody who's going to be fighting on Glory 80, Jamal Ben Saddik. In the last time they did a tournament back, was it December 2019, I think it was, right? Where he beat a Benjamin Adegbuyi. He had broke his arm the previous fight. So he was only using one hand. That's why I think in that fight you saw him, he switched his stance and he was just going southpaw and he just got him.
And that's this is what we like about fighting, is when people are those storylines where they shouldn't have been able to do that and they did it. That amazing willpower. That's the basis of why we watch this sport. Those incredible moments like that where that shouldn't have happened. No human should be so strong to be able to fight with a broken hand. That's insane. But he does it. He's a superhuman. Like the people who compete in kickboxing at the highest level are amazing.
Yep. But I was gonna say, but just going on though, like you said, you already know, man. We're gonna talk about the next fight, but saying Sitthichai, I'm sorry, man. It's gonna be a cakewalk for him. I think Davit Kiria. I mean, he's already up 2-0 on the guy. They already fought 2 times, man. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I like Davit Kiria. He's a good guy. But I'm sorry, man. I think my boy Sitthichai is going to take it to him.
Yeah, so I'll just take one step back here. So yeah, Smokin Jo is, Smokin Jo Nattawut. I think he's actually a little bit slow coming into the fight against Chingiz Allazov, who's just so much faster, a combination striker. Smokin Jo has really good outside leg kicks, but yeah, I think, like you said, don't doubt the mechanic. You've got every prediction right so far. You picked Superbon over Giorgio Petrosian. You've picked everything else right so far. We're not going to start doubting you. Sitthichai over Davit Kiria. Yeah, I completely agree. David Kiria's style is also a little bit different, where he's almost doing a peekaboo style. He does a very traditional Dutch style where he's shelling up left-right combinations. And I think against someone like Sitthichai, you've already lost him twice, but you're not showing him anything new. There's no new folds to this. Like you said, I think this is a good fight for Sitthichai all day. But it's a good fight. I'm excited to watch this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, anytime I can watch Sitthichai, I'm down, but I'm also down for the other fight. Like I said, I like Smokin Jo because I actually knew him from Lionheart. That's how I found out about him.
Yeah.
But again, like you just said, like I think he's gonna be a little bit slow to start. Typical Thai fighter. And and like I said, I just think his opponent is just gonna be all over him. Like I mean, you saw his last fight. He stopped the guy in the first round. Like I said, he likes to get after it. Body shots galore all day too. So I mean, I'm not saying another finish is coming his way. I'm just gonna say he's gonna get his hand raised. All right, I won't put that prediction out yet.
But in the final, what we're both predicting, we're agreeing on this. This one just makes sense. We're going to see a Sitthichai versus a Chingiz Allazov in the final. That we're both agreeing here, right?
Yes,
absolutely.
100%.
And I think that lends well to Sitthichai probably taking the whole thing. It's actually more clear now with Marat Grigorian out. He was kind of the one to watch. But yeah, so I'm excited for that one. Glory 80, and then that's one championship. Only the Brave, which is coming up this Friday morning. For you, that's like 5 in the morning or some weird time like that. We'll just catch it later on here. Yeah. I'll be attending the press conference as well. If you folks have any questions, shoot them to me faster, because I think it's tomorrow sometime. So shoot me the question if you want it on the press conference. And we also had Rise 154. This was Suzuki versus Kengo. Sorry, it's one of those. I can read it, no problem. Masahiko Suzuki is kind of the odd one out in the bantamweight division for kickboxing. Bantamweight division is probably the best one in kickboxing right now, with how good the top stars are. Guys like Rodtang, Tenshin, Takuru. Masahiko Suzuki has already lost to Tenshin twice, and he's still champion in Rise. He's kind of like the odd one out. He's a top fiver who can't quite crack into the top 3 kind of guys, but he got a quick and easy win against Kengo this weekend. We also had Hiyomu Hitachi had a really good overhand right and absolutely flatline Taisei Uego. Kenta Nanbara with a head kick knockout, and then a good just an absolutely awesome stuff that you love to see from kickboxing. Did you catch any of Rise 154 or any thoughts on the division at all?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because sometimes I don't get a chance to actually like see them, see the weight class of people are until like after later. But what's the actual weight? Because I know because lightweight, bantamweight, they're all different all over the place. So what exactly is Suzuki's weight class or the weight?
Give me 1 second here. So they list them. Every division, like this is the thing that on some divisions, yeah, it'll say flyweight. Sometimes it says bantamweight. They officially call this one bantamweight, and he's fought Tenshin in the past. It says his official fighting weight is 121 pounds. So he's a 55 kilogrammer actually. And then they'll call this bantamweight. So yeah.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Like to me, man, like I'm saying, the dude's talented, man. I mean, he got some fast hands. You know, he looked good. Like I say, I don't know how their contracts are and everything like that, but like to me, man, I feel like maybe man, he might need to leave Rise and try to go over to K1, if possible, because to me, I think that's where there are more people. There's more people on in the division for him, than there are in Rise. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, hey, I could be wrong. Maybe somebody else could be on the come up. But that's what I'm just thinking. Like, say, if he wants to get his name out there a little bit more, I think he maybe just needs to go, elsewhere.
I co-sign with you on that as well. I feel like he's fought for Rise fairly consistently, but I feel like with kickboxing at this level, they kind of let you jump around a little bit. Like you don't overly need permission. Now with Rise, they do have their thing going on with Glory Rivals, but Glory doesn't have this weight class. Like, what is he going to get beat up by Petch, who's like 40 pounds bigger than him or something like that? Like, no, obviously we're not doing that. But yeah, I think jumping over to K1, probably good for his name. I know he's headlining on this card, but fighting Kengo and knocking him out kind of easily, you're not facing any new challengers. You should be facing new challengers. We'd love to see you get challenged. And K1's on the up and up at this moment. K1's kind of on.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like one of those things where we kind of have like, you know, the debate here in the States for like MMA is like, you know, like UFC's been around, they have the long name, just like kickboxing over in Japan. K1 is the brand that you know.
Yes.
You know? So they have that longevity. I think you'll get more what's the word I want to use? Like, I guess awareness. You know, people will know more of you in K1 than they would know you in Rise. Like, I mean, Rise is a good promotion, you know, saying, you know, just like how we talk about with MMA, you know, you got your Bellators, your PFLs, you know, they got the name, but you get more shine with that UFC, with that K1, with that top, you know, organization. So that's why I just think, hey, if you want to get your name out there, my guy, K1 might be the spot. And plus, like I said, I think you have a better chance of growing your audience.
I completely agree with you that cosign is still the name, because even talking to guys who cover MMA professionally, journalists in MMA, they'll ask about K1. And then you have to say like, well, K1 is kind of part of the premier, depends on the weight class, depends what you're looking at, but they all know K1. They definitely recognize it. And to give some credence to what you're saying, Rise performs in a fairly small arena. I think like 2,000 to 5,000 people are there. K1, even if it's a lot of the same guys from Rise fighting in K1, they'll do 10 to 12,000 people in a much bigger arena just because of the name is there. We all know K1. It was the biggest thing on earth for a period in history, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why that's all I just think. I mean, other than that, I mean, another thing too, of course, like that happened on Rise, we got to say, got to give a shout out to, I guess he's a featherweight champion and a former Rebels champion, but Marito Kudo, I want to say, make sure, Mashi Kudo. Yeah. You know, he retired from kickboxing, but he could have retired from kickboxing, but he's retired from combat sports. You know, he couldn't move over to boxing. You know, you never know. You see people retire, and then yet, you know, a week later they're like, oh, I got the itch again. So, but hey, kudos to him. You know, he did his thing. You know, we'll see what happens. You know, with his future.
Yeah, it's good to see people leave the sport without too many injuries, without taking too many knocks that they didn't need to take. So many people in combat sports take too much. It's good to know when to walk away, right?
Exactly. And then going on what you're talking about, the head kick. I probably want to say that probably could have been the knockout of the night right there, because that was just slick.
Man, it was so slick. It looked effortless. It was just a raise the lead leg, like didn't even transfer the weight that much. Just a quick flick. That was it. That is exactly what we love about it.
I'm like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, was that shades of Wrzosek versus Hari? You know, just a little flick.
That's all you need in these higher up weight classes. If someone flicks you with their leg, you're gonna die.
Yeah. That's it. Oh yeah, that's right. That was heavyweight too, right? Yeah, that was their heavyweight division, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he fights. Yeah, that was on the bigger side. Off the top of my head, let me check. Actually, give me 1 minute. I'll see if I can find the exact numbers here, because I think they listed it at. Kenta Nambara. Six one, yeah, it jumps around a little bit here, but yeah, he's on the heavier side. This is a big boy. But yeah, if you guys missed that, check out my Instagram or Twitter, and I can certainly find it for you. I've had it up on Reddit as well. So that Kenta Nambara knockout was exceptional. But yeah, I think we are good to go for a little bit. Every 2 weeks we sit down and discuss some kickboxing stuff. We had some major announcements. We're both getting in at Glory 80, whether we're fighting someone or just making articles. We're going to be there. Folks, this is Kicking It with Tim and the Mechanic. I'm Tim. He's the Mechanic. And I got to complain, like, we're so many episodes in now that I'm starting to reach the end of my closet. So I'm going to have to start repeating outfits. So I need some new clothing. And, you know, where better to get some new clothing than the Fighter's First shop? Link will be down below, folks. Make sure to check out the Kickin' It t-shirt. We got the Mechanic t-shirt at the Fighter's First shop. You can find the links anywhere. I will put it up on Instagram, on Twitter. And the links will be down below in the YouTube description as well. Folks, make sure to check it out because it is a cool shop. It's some cool stuff in there. Brandon, before we head out of here, where can the people find more of you?
Hey, find me on Instagram or on Twitter at Cuttino TSMA. And then, like you said, hey, you guys know Robbie Timbers. Let him know the mechanic wants the destroyer. I want to go to Belgium. I'll even get some waffles there while I can. You know, like I said, man, yo, let's just make it happen, man. Just make it happen. But if not, I do got some fight news that I'm working. So keep it tuned, guys. Remember, like, subscribe, please share this. Like I said, I love hanging out with him. Love talking kickboxing with him. So I'm saying, you guys like it as well. Share it with your peoples. Let's grow the kickboxing community. Saying we know it's small, we know it's a little niche, but hey, let's just keep on growing, keep bringing the peoples that way we can all talk kickboxing together.
That is exactly right, Brandon. Thank you so much for your time.
All right.